Today, we welcome stand-up comic, TV producer, development consultant, punch-up writer, and Emmy-nominated comedy writer, Courtney Cronin. Courtney, welcome. Did I miss anything?
No, thank you.
Good to see you. And you're in Los Angeles, correct?
Good to see you. Yes, I'm in the Los Angeles area by the beach because I love being seen in a bathing suit. So I love it.
That's
I
great.
need to be near the beach.
So tell me about you. Tell me about, how did you get started in comedy?
Well, I guess like most comedians, I was a goofy, nerdy kid. And but I was always drawn to comedy. I always wanted to watch it. I remember at sleepovers, like my girlfriends would want to rent rom-coms and things like that. And I wanted to rent comedy specials and watch people's comedy specials. So I was always watching comedy and I always thought it was so hard. Like, how do they come up with that? And how do they do that? And I was just so fascinated by it that I just started studying it and wanted to know as much as I could. And then I realized I did it in college and just thought, I think I'm supposed to be doing this. Of course, many times over the years, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm going to quit. But I found like a home for myself with writing for other comedians, which I actually prefer to performing. So I've been mostly doing that, but I just always loved it, I guess.
Were you always the funny kid? Like, were you the funny kid? You call yourself like self-described nerdy, whatever, but were you the funny kid? Did you always see humor and everything? Or what was your childhood like?
I think I didn't try to be funny. I was just a very we just spent the weekend with my dad and my husband kind of every once in a while we have, we have inside jokes, but my husband's like joke with me is let's have a conversation because I'm always talking to strangers and talking to people. And then my dad was saying this weekend, she did this a lot as a kid. Like I would be 2 years old and just talking to people. So I think I've just always enjoyed that connection, I guess. I'm chatty. I like connecting with people. And because I was goofy and silly, and I've always had a silly sense of humor, it just sort of naturally came about. I don't really think I was hilarious, but in high school, I started doing more comedy. I kind of fell into it by accident. Like I always loved it. I just didn't think I would ever be able to do it. And then I started doing acting class and I was in this competition and I had to do an audition for a comedy monologue. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where to find a monologue. I'm 13, 14. I was a kid. So I wrote one and did it. And then I got it. And they put me in the comedy monologue category. And I'm like, oh no, I got to do this again. So I was doing competitions in high school because I was in a drama program, like an honors drama or whatever. And so that's how it all kind of got rolling.
That's crazy. You hear people in high school, they're playing sports, they're in band, they're doing all kinds of things. And you're doing seriously next level kind of comedy, it sounds like, even in the high school level.
Yeah, for a little bit. And then I switched schools and they didn't do the competitions at my other school. So I just did all the plays. If I wasn't in the play, I was working on the play. And then I went to theater school in Boston for college because I wanted to make sure I found another career that doesn't pay at all. And it's hilarious being poor. Woo!
You could forever be a thespian, and
I know. I miss acting. I actually do. I did enjoy the little bit of acting I did professionally here and there. Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Did you ever work a traditional 9 to 5? And if so, what was it?
No. I always had part-time jobs or side jobs. I waited tables for a really long time. I worked at one restaurant for 5 years, but off and on, that they would let me go on the road and stuff. But I was always doing comedy at night. I worked in the day. I did comedy 4 or 5 nights a week. And then I would work Monday nights at the restaurant because Monday nights, there's no comedy really. There wasn't in the 90s anyway. And so I was getting up almost every night and then waiting tables during the day. That was the only steady job I had. After that, I had all kinds of weird jobs. And then I got my first writing job at 28. So I've been doing comedy for 6 years at that point, and then I continued writing professionally and still do since then.
Crazy. So writing jokes for other people. Um, so what do you like better? I guess you sort of touched on it, but you like writing for others more than you do yourself. Isn't there like a level of, I don't know, maybe when you're writing for yourself, if it flops, you don't feel so bad because it's yours. But is there
True.
additional pressure writing for other people?
Yes, for sure. When it's um, on television, like I remember this one person I wrote for, if he didn't like something a lot, he would say on camera, "Thanks, writers." So, I mean, it wasn't like mean, but it was like loving, but he would kind of goof on us a little bit. And but yeah, it can be very unforgiving. I remember I worked, I mean, I don't know why you always tell the terrible things that happen, but I just think they're more interesting because you're supposed to be good at your job. You're supposed to have mostly good experiences and mostly good stories. But I did have an experience once where I was brought in to produce hidden camera segments because I did that for many years, hidden camera stuff. And they brought me in to produce these segments for this game show on TBS. And then somehow, because it was hosted by comedians, I started writing for the host as well, which is what I really wanted to do. So I kind of worked my way into doing that and working with the head writer. And then the EPs had me, anything they wanted, they had me whip up for them, basically. So they wanted to do this bit about sex toys, and they had me write it up for them. And they wanted the contestant to go through this list of sex toys in a hidden camera prank, and then their husbands watching and seeing which ones they pick. Well, this was our dress rehearsal, and our host was Eliza Schlesinger, and she hated the bit. She didn't like it. And that's fine. She hated it, but she didn't know about it until it was happening. So in front of like 100 people, she's like, "This is fucking awful. This is so horrible. We can't do this. I will not be on this show if this is the type of humor we're doing." And I'm just like in the booth with the EPs, just like, "Please take this hit for me." No, I had to fall.
Tough.
Take it. But
That's
she
tough.
loved me the rest of the time. She didn't know it was me, you know what I mean? She didn't know who did it, but everybody was kind of pointing at me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm doing what I'm told, y'all."
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny too. I thought the bit was funny.
It's
And we
funny.
had to go to the store and buy it. I had to go with these two PAs, and we're in this shop in Atlanta buying all these sex toys, and you can't return them. So we had like $200 worth of all these weird sex toys. I think people took them home. I think some people they were gone 2 days later. So, but yeah, so stuff like that will happen,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh God, but then once you get to know like the person that you're working with, like closely, you get to know their voice and you get to know their cadence. And this is something they would say, this is something they wouldn't say. And you really have to study that person. Like anytime I had a writing submission, I would watch the person, as much as possible. And this is like before YouTube and everything, really. Like I'd have to go and like record it late at night on my VCR or whatever the show was, or,
Yeah.
find whatever I could, or go find out where they're performing and go to the show and watch, like to learn as much as I could.
Yeah. Got to do your homework. Yeah, it was a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier. It's probably a lot easier today than it was back then for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've worked with Jay Moore, Ken John, Wayne Brady, Chelsea Handler, Dee Snider.
Mm-hmm.
This is a these are very, very successful people that
Mm-hmm.
count on you to help them be funny. Like, is there a person that you've really enjoyed working with, or that you just sort of click with your humor?
Well, Chet Roberts comes to mind.
Hmm.
Uh, hmm.
It's
Um,
the player, right?
we loved working with Chet, actually. Like the more a person is like passionate about it, and the more that they like love it, and the more they give us, the more there is to work with, and Chet's great for a chat. You know, he's chat the chatter. And
Mhm.
he gave us so much to work with that at one point we were like, oh my God, we're going to have to cut a bunch of this stuff, which is the best problem to have ever. The best problem is we have to cut some of this, not, oh God. But I guess someone else I really enjoyed writing for. I think the most exciting thing I've ever written, and people ask me this all the time, was I got to write a sketch for Kermit and Miss Piggy with Henson Productions and do a sketch with them and Wayne Brady when I worked on the Wayne Brady show. And it's on YouTube. You can look it up. It's Wayne
Amazing.
Brady, Miss Piggy, and Kermit doing Brick House. And they keep talking about how she's a pig. It's just like they used to do on the Muppet Show. And she would always take offense to that. And at the end, she karate chops Wayne Brady. And my dad came to the taping because he knew how excited I was about working with the Muppets. And it's one of the only scripts I've gotten back that said no notes. I'm like, what? No notes?
Really?
I have it framed. Yeah, no notes. That
Wow.
never happens.
That's crazy.
I think that's the last time that ever happened.
Wow, that's nuts. You mentioned Chet, and I remember we were there at his first performance. It was at JBJ's there on Broadway in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how nervous he was, and I remember your intro to him. You kind of teed it up, and it just seems like you were trying to make him comfortable, make the audience, like, let them know ahead of time, like, hey, this is a rock guy. This is a rock star trying to do comedy, so be gentle on him. I just thought the way you handled the intro to him was really, really strong. And then he gets up there, and I was going to ask you, have you written a joke and you're like, whoever it is probably not going to say the joke? And the reason I ask is because Chet, I remember, was talking about the time he pooped his pants on stage. Did he tell you that ahead of time, or did he just spring that on the crowd?
No, he told us ahead of time. I remember I was in Germany over after New Year's. It was in January, and that was the first time I talked to Chet. We talked for like an hour and a half, and I write down everything people are saying, and anything that's funny to me or anything that jumps out, I write it down, and Don Jameson and I write together. We're writing partners on this, and Don and I agree 100% on loving a shit your pants story, because who cannot relate to that, whether they want to admit it or not? And it's funny, we joke that, like, in your 20s, like, shitting your pants was like mortifying and horrible, but in your 50s, it's a minor inconvenience. You just gotta figure it out, and like, we had so much fun coming up with all the stupid ways to say shit your pants. We were like, sharp my shorts, and what was the other one?
Three doors
slacks.
Yeah.
And got a dingle dangler in my Wranglers, like Chet, like that one. What was the other one?
You said three doors brown.
Oh, 3 doors brown. I Jezebel'd in my jeans, or something like that. My jeans got Jezebel'd, something like that. I don't know. We just thought of all these silly ways to say I shit my pants, and we were dying laughing coming up with it. It was so much fun. And so that bit kind of wrote itself. I mean, any way he told that story, it was going to be funny. The fact that he was posing with pictures with fans with his slacks full of soil, like whatever, is a very, very funny story. So no, like, Chet gave us a lot of gold. Plus, he has such an interesting point of view. He's in this massive band playing these huge arenas, and he's a dad, and he's got 2 kids at home, teenage, that awful age where it's like, oh my God. And he's always like, I'm trying to be cool in front of my kids, which is like, you're never cool. No matter how cool of a rock star you are, you're still dad, get out of my room. It's all relatable stuff. We want, like, the show is, the whole point is to, like, get to know, our guest personally. We already know you're awesome. We're already your fan. We're already fans, which makes it great, which is why these audiences are so wonderful for this type of comedy. Like on the cruise, I tell all our guests, you can make the deepest, most obscure references, and this crowd's going to get it, and they're going to laugh really hard because we went there. You know what I'm saying?
They appreciate it when you go there. They want you to go there.
They do. They want deep, weird references. They love it. And so do I. Like, so anything our guests do where they go, just deep and the fan, a rock fan would only get this joke. Like a lot of people don't even know what a backline is. My show's Punchlines and Backlines. So on the website I explain what it is, but any of the rock fans come and they know what the backline is, So I mean, it is kind of a play on words, but a lot of people ask me, they're like, what's a backline?
Tell me about that show. How did that get started? And I think it's a fantastic idea, and it was a huge hit, man. It's fun to go to these shows.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it. It's definitely my baby, my passion. I've put everything into it. Around 2013, I started working on roasts, and then a comedian that I've worked with off and on for many, many years, Craig Gass, he gets invited to all these roasts and stuff, and they needed a head writer who also had TV production experience. So he got me the interview, and I ended up getting the job as the head writer of Dee Snider's roast. And I noticed during that that we had some hurt feelings. And Lita Ford really had her feelings hurt, and it was awful. And it was a joke that we didn't think would upset her at all. But the host is not going to make fun of you, and Dee's not going to make fun of you. But she had the most power on that stage. Anything she said, she could shit on those guys as hard as she wanted when she did. And, she could get away with a lot. But sometimes, the guys will go for the joke and they won't think this might actually hurt that person.
Yeah.
So they made jokes about her career. And she was at a point where she was coming back from being away for a while because she had this awful divorce. She had all this trauma. She had a very difficult time personally. And to come out of that and go into a roast is got to be very difficult.
Yeah.
So she really got her feelings hurt. And I'm a human being, and I'm a woman in a room full of dudes all the time. So I get it. I mean, I'm not Lita Ford level that she's at, but she forgot who she was for those moments,
Sure.
It's like, you're fucking Lita Ford, man.
Yeah.
And
right.
she, and it hurt her. And when that happened, I remember I almost fainted standing there watching. I was like, oh my God. I remember I was sick about it for a week. I didn't sleep. I was so upset about it. And that made me think, how do we make this as fun as this with the jokes and everything? And everybody knows that these people aren't comedians, and they're, how do we make this fun and not mean? So I'm like, what if it's a show where they do comedy for the first time? And, we set it up like this. So I pitched it to a couple different places, and they were like, oh, we need proof of the pudding. We need proof that the formula works. So I ran it for a year out of this hotel in Hollywood called the Graftons, where they put up a lot of the acts from the whiskey. And there were always a lot of celebrities. Like Dennis Rodman was at our first show. He was sitting in the audience until my stupid friend made fun of him, and then he left. But it was this great little spot, and that's where we started doing it. And then COVID, of course, and then we got on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and that's really where it took off. And I have to thank Kip Winger for that, because Kip agreeing to do the show, once people saw that Kip would say yes, first of all, and that he trusted us, and it took time to earn it. And he and I are actually good friends now because of it. And I always say that, I go, can I just tell everyone you're my best friend? He's like, I don't care. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling everyone we're best friends. So, no, but I love Kip. He's great. And it's because of him. And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, whenever people are hesitant about the show, I go, Kip Winger did it. And they're like, what? Oh, I want to, I'm going to, if he can do it.
Yeah. Suddenly every door open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kip Winger, didn't he just release an album with a symphony orchestra or something?
Yeah, he wrote a concerto. I actually went to the Nashville Symphony to see it. It was incredible. This guy did a violin concerto like you've never seen, like putting guitar players all over the world to shame. I mean, not to shame, but like, holy crap. Like, it was pretty incredible. I thought his arm was going to fall off. I couldn't believe he made it through the whole thing.
Crazy.
It was beautiful and haunting, and Kip likes those ominous sounding, music. I don't know how to explain music, but he explains it really well. If you go on his Instagram, he has all these posts about how he compares how it would sound as rock and how the same notes sound as classical. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's I heard some of it. I was blown away. And I think he's actually, is he going to tour? I think he's touring again or thinking about it, right?
Well, they're doing some winger shows, yes, this
Okay.
summer.
Okay.
And then the last show, I guess, I don't want to make announcements, but is going to be on the Monsters of Rock cruise next May.
Incredible.
They're going to Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Can you just, for the viewers, tell, I know you've been on, there was a Kiss cruise, I believe, but the Monsters of Rock cruise, like this, I see it on Instagram. I see all these posts and all these people and all these bands. That looks like a freaking blast. Tell me about that.
It is the most glorious event. It's like all those things that we loved as young people. All those posters on our wall have come together on one boat.
Amazing.
And all those concerts we traveled around to see for 20 years, they're all in one place. I only have to walk 50 feet or whatever to go see every band I love and then discover new bands. I've discovered so much great new music just from being on the cruise, and bands that I knew that I didn't really know their whole thing. Like Tora Tora is a band I knew like one song before I now I've seen them probably 20 times. Yeah. Love Tora. Oh my God, I love them. I love Anthony. I love the band. Anything he's doing or that band is doing, I recommend it 1,000,000,000%. It is such a great show. The songs are amazing. They're great. And they'll be at the Mountain this year. But I just think if you are a fan of that music, you're doing yourself a disservice by not making it onto the cruise. I know some people are like, it's so expensive. Well, get a roommate, get 2 roommates. You're barely in your room anyway. You literally just sleep and shower and that's it. You are out of the room the entire time.
Amazing. There's like a resurgence of all the bands that you're talking about that go on these cruises, and they're some of the hottest acts in the country again.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I mean, like Lita Ford, like speaking of Lita, her live show is incredible. Her band is ridiculous. And I just saw her show a couple weeks ago at this event. And she stole the day. The band was great. She was great. It was amazing. Wingers, unbelievable live. Saigon Kick, unbelievable live. Anything Jason Bieler does is amazing. And Jeff Scott Soto is in 52 bands on the cruise, and he's just amazing. And anyone, I mean, God, everybody really puts on a Slaughter. I've seen live probably 1 billion times at this point because they're always at these things. They're a fan favorite as well. And yeah, it blows you away. And then you see people like The Darkness. I'm like, I like The Darkness, but I've never seen them live. And oh my God, yeah. It's such a show. Vixen, holy crap. Their lineup right now is as hot as ever. They are so on fire right now. They are so tight and sound amazing. I mean, I've always been a fan. I'm a little biased about the lineup because of Britt and Roxy. Well, Roxy's OG, but I just love them personally and professionally. Like, they're just freaking awesome. And Britt does our show. She's done it like 3 times. She's going to do it again. We're going to do a show here in LA. She's very funny.
Love it. And you do have comedy as part of this, correct?
Mm-hmm. We're the official comedy show of the cruise.
Love it.
Punchlines and Backlines. We started with 2 shows with Kip Winger, and we did a second show with Chad Stewart. And the room was packed. I was wondering, are people going to come? Oh my God. I had to get security to turn people away because it was getting so packed in the back. It was getting loud and you couldn't hear the people talking. And so then the next year, same thing. So they moved us a little bit later and, put us up against one of the big headliners. Like, but still we were totally packed. So we went from 2 shows to this year we did 4. We did 4 shows. We had 6 different guests. We used to have to beg people to do the show. Like, please do it. Don't be afraid. I promise. Now that everyone's seen it, you know, like Jason McMaster came to every show when he was on the cruise. Now he just did it with us and he had a blast and he was very funny. And you're dead inside if you don't like that guy or any of his music. And so he lives in Texas. So Don and I are going out to Texas and we're doing 3 shows with Jason in August. We're going to be in Austin at Kick Butt Coffee and Fitzgerald's in San Antonio, August 7th and 9th. And then on the 8th, we're doing a private party with one of the Monsters cruisers. Scott Forte, he does private parties with acts from the cruise. And now he's having us for the first comedy show.
Nice. That's great. So people, my guess is on these cruises, people show up there with a mindset and it's got to be like, I don't know, I don't want to say easier, but it's got to be really cool when people show up ready to party, like not, you know, entertain me. It's like they're there for a show. And my guess is between yourself and everything you're doing from a comedy perspective, all the bands just going out and letting all just go nuts with it, right? The mindset of the people's got to be off the charts when they get on the boat, probably before they get on the boat, to be honest.
Oh, they're in the Facebook group talking about next year now.
Yeah.
Like it is a year-long prep. And we start prepping for our shows months in advance. And then Kip and I started a Monster Feud, like a Monsters version of Family Feud. It's not Family Feud though, even though it is. And so we started that last year. And I write all the questions about stuff that's happening on the cruise or about, you know, our music, you know, or something silly or something sexual, something silly. Like, like one of the questions this year was Dangerous Toys is on the cruise. Yay. We're, you know, give me another word or phrase for Sportin' a Woody. Because that's like one of their songs and one of their big songs. And that, so everybody had to guess, you know, and that was fun. Kip wasn't on the cruise this year though. So George Lynch came in and hosted the game.
Nice.
That was a hoot.
Sure.
George Lynch, he did comedy too. He did like 25 minutes of his own comedy. He's the only guest we've ever had we didn't write for. He wanted to do his own thing.
25 minutes. That's a long time to me.
It was long.
Yeah.
We all do 10.
Yeah.
Our guests do 10 to 15, but we put George last on the last show. And that is a story for off camera, but it was quite entertaining. George has a very strange sense of humor.
Okay, I look forward to hearing more about that in just a few minutes. So you talked about the Mountain Music Fest coming up. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Mountain Music Fest. We have 2 shows there. It's a 3-day event. John Waite gonna be there. Brett Michaels, Rick Springfield, Night Ranger, Tora, Dangerous Toys, Vixen, all the Monsters of Rock bands are going to be there. It's going to be amazing. It's an incredible lineup. Like if I wasn't working, I would want to just go. I would probably go.
Yeah. Right.
Because the lineup's so insane. But yeah, we have 2 shows this year. We're going to do it offsite at a separate location down the street. So it's a little more like a intimate comedy club. We were in the side room last year. It was great, but it was very wide. So you were like turning completely to work the sides of the room, but a good time. Yeah. We just did the 1 show last time and it was with Britt Lightning. She was our guest and Hal Sparks was there because his band Nerd Halen was there. So he performed. So it was a really good show. But this year, I'm not really sure. I think Jason McMaster is going to do it. Maybe Reb Beach. We're not sure. Maybe Britt. We're not sure, but definitely Chet Roberts.
Oh yeah. He's fired up. He can't wait for sure. Let me ask you a couple of questions about you. What is a song on one of your cell phone playlists that would shock people in the rock world? What's
Oh,
songs that maybe you'd even be embarrassed that what some of your rock buddies knew that you listen to from time to time?
well, a lot of people think my favorite band is Kiss, but it's not. I love Kiss. I'm wearing a Kiss shirt right now. I've got my Paul Stanley thing behind me. I love Kiss, but they're not my favorite band. My favorite band is a band from Australia, New Zealand called Crowded House. And my
House.
other favorite is Squeeze. I'm a huge Squeeze fan, and I
Mhm.
love power pop. Like I love the Smithereens. I love all that stuff. Marshall Crenshaw, I have all his albums. So I
Really?
think maybe people would be surprised that I listen to a lot of Marshall Crenshaw.
That's crazy. And so, wait, Crowded House, something so strong. What song did they sing? Was that it?
Don't dream it's over. Something so strong.
Yeah.
Better be home soon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I would not have guessed that.
It's my favorite band. I've loved them
Okay.
since I was 12.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and so tell me about your dog Rainy.
Well, he is. I just did a show last night at Flappers in Burbank, and I was like, I wanted to do bits about my dad because it was Father's Day, but I couldn't help it. I'm just like, you guys got to see my dog. Like I always show my dog, and then I talk about my dog. I love my dog so much. Rainy, hang on, let's get him on here. Let's get him on this show.
Yeah.
This is my dog, Rainy.
Gosh.
He's a little bit
Oh,
dirty right now because he was
oh
playing with
my
his friends over the weekend,
gosh.
and he's my little boy.
So
He's
how old?
he's going to be 7 at the end of October. It's about when we think the birthday was from the
Oh
woman who rescued him.
gosh.
He was a puppy when I got him. He was a house that shouldn't have had these dogs. They weren't taking care of him. They were all outside, sleeping on top of each other, covered in fleas. His
Oh,
mother was so covered in fleas, she had welts. They had to shave her to treat
oh
her skin.
my gosh. So you saved Rainy.
They suck. Yeah. And Rainy was one of 3 puppies. She was so overbred. She was having small litters. So only 2 of her puppies lived. And Rainy was one of them.
Wow.
And they all escaped from this place, and they were running down the middle of the street during the storms because the gutters were flooded. So
Mm.
they were the only place they were in the middle of the street trying to run away. And this woman who rescued him was like trying to get them to come to her because she was going to help. She rescues dogs. So she was like, come here. And only one dog came to her.
You got a good one.
He's a stud. We have female dogs come to our door every day.
Oh, well, look
I'm
at
not
him.
kidding.
He's a stud. Yeah, he's got the our hairdo too, so I like it.
He's a mess right now, but
All right, some rapid fire questions for you. Favorite comedian of all time?
Carol Leifer,
First concert?
Beach Boys.
One TV show you wish you would have written for?
Oh, Conan.
Most underrated rock band?
That's so hard.
There's a lot of them, probably.
I know.
Because these days, bands are some that maybe people forgot about are back, and they're probably underrated for what they can do now, as good or better than they did 20 years ago.
True. You know who's so great live and I never get sick of them? Tesla
Oh,
is
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Y&T, I know it's like all California bands, and Night Ranger, all California bands. And Mr. Big, that tour, the Mr. Big, the Big Goodbye, phenomenal.
Really?
So good. Yes.
Okay. Coffee or cocktails?
Coffee. Oh, I don't drink cocktails. So wine, because I only have one coffee. So I'm going to say wine.
Boston or Los Angeles?
Boston. That's where I'm originally from. That's where I'm born.
Dog treats in your pocket right now or no?
I don't have a pocket, but if I did, I would definitely have them. Poop bags almost always.
Okay, good. And as we wrap it up here, what's something that you would like people to know about you, your career, say 10 years from now, looking back? What would you like people to say that I went and saw one of Courtney's productions, or I saw her act, and fill in the blank? What do you hope people think about you in your career?
I hope people think that I never bullshitted them. Like I was very real, and I talked to people. Like people tell me that a lot. They're like, I feel like I just like you came to our house and just started talking to us. And I love when people say that to me. But also, you said it earlier, the way I set up our guest, I take so much pride in that, and how I find a way to make a joke about the band or them or one of our other guests. Like I put a lot of thought into that. So, so I'd say that, you know, the extra things I spend time on, like on the cruise, I did a whole bit about events that were canceled or moved or postponed. I spent every day hours working on those, and then like days and days before I even got on the ship, I spent weeks on my set, so that people notice that I'm, you know, taking the time because I care.
Truthfully, it's obvious. I've only seen you in person the one time at the JBJ show, but what I did notice was, number one, you were almost like, and I say this in a complimentary way, you were kind of I don't want to say motherly way towards your guests, but you clearly were wanting to make them feel comfortable, make them feel good, make everybody around them be like setting expectations. And you could tell you cared about each and every person that you introduced. And yet you were funny on stage, but then when you introduced the person, they would come on. I remember Ray Lynn Nelson was there along
Oh,
with
she's so funny.
and Don Jameson. I mean, the guy, you know, Stevie D. These people are funny people, and but there's so much, like you could tell behind the scenes you were in charge, and there were so many things you had to do. Yet when you got up on stage, you just looked like you were having a good old relaxed time, maybe having some wine and watching the jokes. But you had a lot of stuff to do, man, and it was very very noticeable how you are giving to others.
Oh, well, thank you for noticing that. Yeah, I love the show. I want everybody to kill it. I want everybody to do well, especially our guests. That's why we put them right in the middle, because that's the best spot. They always go, "What? We're going to go after you guys? I have to go after you." I go, "I am the easiest person to follow. You'll see." Like,
Yeah,
you'll see.
yeah.
So, thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's I'm excited we're having Chet back. He's actually going to do JBJ's with us August 19th, and so is Ray Lynn. And we're going to basically do the same show, because it's going to be different crowd. It'll be a different crowd this time. It'll be
For sure.
summer tourists, and we're going to do a Wednesday night, so we'll be able to pull some people off the street, get them upstairs, get them liquored up and laughing. And yeah, we hope any of Chet's fans, and you know, anyone watching who've never seen the show before, please come. It's so much fun, and we all hang out afterwards, and we have a great time. And Chet was so sweet; he took pictures with everybody, and he had a ball. And I think we'll have a ball again.
Lastly, here, there's still some summer left, still plenty of year left. You've got a lot happening. Just where can people find any information about you so they can go and support you wherever you are?
Okay. Please go to my Instagram, because I need some heat, y'all. I am tepid as a mofo on there. I got to start filming myself. I'm terrible. Please go to my Instagram. It's Court Crow Dold, and my website is Courtney Cronin Comedy. And there we'll have all my dates. I have July 19th. I have a big show at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. I'm hosting, and which I love doing. And then I'm doing the Napa Wine and Comedy Festival up there in Napa at the Buena Vista Winery. I'm headlining Thursday, the 23rd.
Nice.
And the 29th, if you're in San Diego, I'm in La Jolla. I'm headlining Lisa Sunstead's Pretty Funny People show. and that's July 29th. And all my dates are there. I'm at the Improv on the 30th, and then I'm in Texas, then Nashville and Gatlinburg and Massachusetts.
Fantastic, man. That's a heck of a schedule. I wish you all the luck, but I will tell you this: I never ever will refer to you to anyone as a tepid mofo. Ever. That's not who you are to me.
Tepid mofo. That'd be a good album for if I finally do my special, which I'm always afraid of. Finally do my special, it should be Tepid Mofo, I think.
Oh gosh, and we said it here first. I love it. That's a great title. Oh my gosh, that's too
like it.
All right. Courtney Cronin, thanks so much.
Thank you. Great. Thanks for having me.